Hi, I'm Kathleen Bitter with The Mindful Heart. Welcome to A Light in the Dark, an investigation into the world wars. We are thrilled you have chosen to learn with us. During the course of this year-long investigation, you will spend 14 weeks studying World War I and 18 weeks studying World War II. And you can expect to spend about 6 hours a week studying and reading. Each week, you will have the opportunity to study art, read poetry, listen to music, and read speeches or other documents from the time period. You will also read or listen to talks given by general authorities of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Read books, watch documentaries or movies, plan and carry out service projects, spend time in nature, and study scripture. This course is accentuated through writing. Both of these studies will include questions to invite you to consider things you otherwise might not. You will have the opportunity to either journal about your thoughts, draw if art is a meaningful expression for you, or discuss both facts and opinions with your family, especially your parents. Instructions will accompany each section. As you work through this investigation, please keep internet safety in mind. If you come across an ad or anything inappropriate during your study online, immediately shut down your computer and report it to your parents. As you study the world wars this year, you will learn about some very dark times and events. Elder Vern P. Stanfield taught, "There is no darkness so dense, so menacing, or so difficult that it cannot be overcome by light." You will learn the truths of these words in your studies this year. Hopefully, as you see God's hand in the lives of the people you study and in these world events, you will also begin to see His hand in your own life. You will see how powerfully light can overcome darkness. Your faith will increase as you see God work in the lives of those who, although imperfect, were willing to let God prevail in their lives. Remember that no one else can educate you. Education is yours alone. You will get out of this investigation what you put into it. The more deeply you think, write, and discuss, the more you will educate your mind and your heart as you strengthen your testimony and grow closer to God. President Joseph F. Smith taught, "The knowledge of truth combined with proper regard for it and its faithful observance constitutes true education. The mere stuffing of the mind with a knowledge of facts is not education. The mind must not only possess a knowledge of truth, but the soul must revere it, cherish it, love it as a priceless gem. And this human life must be guided and shaped by it in order to fulfill its destiny. Educate yourself not only for time, but also for eternity." Each week, you will begin with an at-a-glance page that shows you what will be covered during your week-long study. There you will see an art study, a book to read, poetry to read and ponder, scripture verses to study, conference talks, music to listen to, nature observance, service projects, speeches, documents to study, and documentaries to watch. Since this was designed to only take you about 6 hours to complete each week, not all of these elements will be listed each week. Some you'll see weekly, others will rotate through. As you go through this page, you may also consider using the weekly calendar at the bottom to write down a study schedule that works best for you. The first element of each week will be art. During your study of the World War I, the two styles of art you will have the opportunity to study will be the Impressionism and chiaroscuro. The reason for the selection of these two styles of art is because of the focus on light. You will see striking use of light and shadow. When you begin your learning of World War II, your art study will move to propaganda art and the art which was stolen by the Nazis. The next element you will learn about is music. To help you further your study, we have included a little background about the piece of music you will listen to. All of the music selections have something to do with world wars. I will share an example. In week 1, you will listen to "The Banks of Green Willow" by George Butterworth. Butterworth composed this piece of music shortly before the beginning of World War I. Sadly, this composer was killed in the Battle of Somme in 1916. As you listen to this beautiful piece of music, there will be some questions for you to consider. You can then either write or draw your feelings. Following your music study, you will have the opportunity to study documents, speeches, or documentaries. You may also be invited to participate in a nature study or service project. The final two elements are poetry and scripture study. Many of the poems you will read have been written by those who survived the war or witnessed it firsthand. These poets will share their thoughts and feelings through very thought-provoking words and imagery. As your weekly study comes to a close, you will be invited to read a scripture. Then use the ideas for scripture study listed on the About page to read more deeply into these verses. Choose at least 2 sources, consider what these mean for you, then rewrite the verse in your own words in the space provided. At the end of the World War I unit, and again at the end of this investigation, you will have the opportunity to write an essay. You will be given a subject, then invited to write about it. Since writing is a crucial skill, we will provide you with some additional helps and tutorials to make this a positive and enjoyable experience for you. We will also include some example essays for your use. We hope as you move through this investigation that you will see and recognize your growth and understanding of this time period. We also hope you will be inspired to not only look for the light throughout your life, but also be that shining light to those about you. We're happy you're here. Enjoy A Light in the Dark. I'm Kathleen Bitter with The Mindful Heart.